Southern Ocean over there, and I'm close to somewhere called Sundown Point on the west coast of Tasmania. Let's have a look out there. I can see there's a breakout there. There's a breakout probably half a kilometre offshore, and some nice waves coming in there. This spot here, I think there's more ocean over there, but I didn't expect to see the ocean just there. Here, I don't know if you can see our camper van. It's way over in the distance there. We're parked next to the old stockyards at, I think it's Sundown, and anyway, I've got a fair hike back. These are the old cattle yards that we stayed at last night. There's our van, there's the road down the west coast, and the cattle yards were actually used by Christine's father when he was grazing cattle. They used to graze cattle down here on the west coast. Christine's also been involved in taking the cattle back to the farm. The reason they grazed cattle here on the west coast, well, there's the countryside here. The reason they grazed cattle down here south of the Arthur River was to give their paddocks back home a bit of a rest. Yeah, g'day. I'm in a rainforest here at Balfour, Western Tasmania, and I thought I'd do a bit of a walk around. The place is interesting. Crockery on the ground. There's old bricks and everything in this ground. There was a town here about 100 years ago, I guess. The town. There's a sort of scenic sign, and this very scenic old dozer. One of the looks like one of the old Cat M2s, I think they were. RD2s, I think that's what they were, Cat RD2s. It reminds me of that. Looks like a 4-cylinder, maybe petrol or kerosene motor. It's a C-Track or something. C-Track written on the radiator. But anyway, there's hollyhocks. That's the road into the town. Here's a big bit of machinery here. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. That looks like a driving wheel and a flywheel. Maybe it's some sort of stamp mill. Differential, a truck differential, and an old type pump. There's a couple of private roads that go off who knows where, but there are people living here, and I think over there's the pub, which is this very strange pub. Apparently the original hotel here burnt down and it was replaced by something that the locals made, and it's kind of interesting. It's a bit freaky actually, this pub, I think. It has an AED and mud flaps, and I guess that's the bar of this pub, and there's number plates everywhere. Don't forget to reinflate your tyres. There's baseball caps in here. I probably should have brought my my torch in here. old posters. Oh God, old bottles, stuff, Rudge motorcycle advertisement. There's some of the old mines here, and I think up the top there is the original pub, which was like a two-story building. But apparently this is the original fireplace. A guy just told me that, who was in here, and that's the original fireplace. And there's a lot of sort of pro-alcohol sort of stuff in here. There's a very black garden gnome there. Oh God, yeah, what a place. And anyway, there's a Land Rover in one side of it. See, look at that. That's worked out perfectly for me, because the dogs moved the wallaby out from under the Land Rover.
Up and stand on it originally.
Yep. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I didn't bring my camera.
The wheels look good too. You can put like a seat between the two wheels, and
Yeah.
looks great. But old farm machinery, but look at all these gears and stuff. Like,
What were they ploughing down here though?
They had a farmer's market.
yeah, this is the ore dump at Murray's Reward. Girls are just walking around there. Thought I'd have a look at some of the rocks here. These are the rocks. So this was copper. This was a copper mine. Yeah, apparently it's acidic. The mud and everything down there is acidic. Yeah, this looks like an entrance to Murray's Reward. Here's some of the landscape here at Balfour. Apparently there's tin workings down there, that cleared area, and this is the top of Murray's Reward here. Yeah, we were down there before. I'll come over to... Wow. Cables, I wonder where they... Wow. This is the top of Murray's Reward, looking into the mine, and wow. Don't want to go too close to the edge of that, but that's a pretty... They've reworked it, open cut, and I'll have a look at this.
That's the winch.
A winch, yeah.
Still winch the stuff up out. But,
Oh yeah.
when we go back, I'll show you the picture of it on the wall.
You've got something like this where you turn down to your driveway, don't you?
Yeah, it's a
Something like that.
part of an old chimney.
Oh, is it?
That's
Yeah.
nice, solid.
Yeah.
There is a stomper. Or,
Yeah, crusher, yeah.
back to
Stamp
that.
mill,
So
yeah.
You got your back to that. That way. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, but that's in the bush.
In the bush.
And I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
We can take a track around, but we
Yeah,
never.
or is that somewhere else? There's a mountain.
Which one's
Yeah,
Mount?
that's Mount Balfour.
Yeah.
Mount Reed's further around.
Mount Reed's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got Mount Balfour.
Yeah.
And there's Arthur.
Okay, this is the central adit at Balfour. A copper mine.
You'll have to wear your gumboots next time.
Yeah, be worth exploring. Yeah, this is
Did you see any
acidic mining waste from copper mining.
Out back to Oceans if you want to have a look.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
On Facebook.
there's a dam there, holding dam. Having a look at this shack. Land fern. Pretty thick bush around here. It's the west coast of Tassie. We'll have a look inside. That's what it looks like inside. Hole in the roof. That's a very big stove. I don't know if it's coming up on the video. Pretty big stove. That's to do with mining all that pipe. Apparently this was used in the last stage of mining here. Just no one around. It's New Year's Day actually, 2026. Amazing. I've got to virtually crawl to get into here. Not sure what this is. Another shack. It's hashing up there. Just hit the flooring. Wow, this is pretty long gone, isn't it? Can't see much in there. Looks like a kitchen just there. Or it was a kitchen just there. See what else is in here. Big man fern. The pub from the outside. A need developed to have an old Land Rover in the side of it. Made sense, I guess. Another abandoned dwelling here. This one is sort of a building that's on a bus or a truck. Yeah, it looks like a bus. Look at that. It's a building on a bus. We can have a look inside it, hopefully. Whoop. Stairs are a bit stuffed. Wow. The steering wheel. Some things people need to know about Balfour. It's about a 15k dirt road, the Balfour track, into the location. It's passing's difficult, so be aware that you could come across somebody going the opposite direction, and somebody's going to have to give way. It's pretty rugged. Okay, there's no cell phone coverage in the town. There's also no electricity in the town. And the local people, there are people who, the residents, have decided that they don't want camping in the town as well. And it's, yeah, I respect that. We were able to stay for a couple of nights, but only because we had friends that lived there. So if you go into Balfour, don't expect to be able to automatically spend the night in the town. Yeah, I think that they've done that for a reason. There's quite a few people want to go and visit this place, so be aware of those things. It's that the Balfour track could be virtually impassable at certain times of the year, so probably four-wheel drive is your best bet for getting in there. yeah, I think that if you do visit Balfour, just bear in mind there are people who live there and they live there for a reason. It's a really beautiful environment and it's far away from a lot of the hustle and bustle and problems of the world, and that's the way they like it. Yeah, if they decide that people shouldn't camp there, then I think that's a fair call.